June is the month of joy. So here we are trying our very best to spread every ounce of joy. And when we talk about joy, the role of positive parenting and the associated mental health can never be overlooked. In today's session, we have Vanishree Venugopal with us, who will be sharing some amazing parenting tips to ensure mental health and well-being of kids and young adults on the spectrum. Hello and good evening. I am Vanishree and I warmly welcome you all to yet another session of Talk to the Expert series, an initiative by the parent support group, The Autism, where we invite experts who share their precious insights, thereby allowing to create awareness, acceptance, and inclusivity in the society. Mother of a neurodivergent young adult, perpetually brimming with positivity, she loves doing innovative things or even the mundane things in innovative ways. With her determination and optimistic mission, she staunchly nurtures her vision of absolute inclusion of the divinely abled in all spheres. Here, I'd like to mention she's also a wonderful singer, so she radiates happiness and optimism through her songs as well. Now, without any further delay, please join me in welcoming Ms. Vanishree Venugopal or Vanyaka.
Hi. Hi, Devashree.
Hello, Vanyaka. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
So, how have you been doing?
Sab, all great. We're just going on. Very happy. Happy and very thankful to be part of this today.
We are extremely elated to have you with us to share your precious insights.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine as well.
Okay. So we start with our first question. So as a super optimistic and jocund caregiver, Vanyaka, how do you take care of your mental health?
Actually, I admit it's a bit taxing, when it comes to giving care to a special adult on the spectrum. It is physically and mentally. Both ways it is taxing for the parent or the caregiver, whoever it is. Basically, I'm a cool person. Those who know me well, they'll explain that better. I try my best not to get stressed out with anything. And then I have learned that if we lose our cool, it somehow, directly or indirectly, it affects the well-being of the child. With my experiences, that is what I found. And it's not just the well-being of the child, also the family, people in the family around us. So I keep myself occupied with some leisure activity. And when I get some free time, I have some music, I read, and these are all my stress busters, and cooking, and a little bit of me time that keeps me stable and mentally, physically, and just going on.
So how do you radiate so much optimism from you? Like we are all seeing you with your perpetual smile, which radiates so much optimism and certitude. So how do you balance yourself amidst this mundane commotions of life?
It is. See, basically, everybody has some sort of stress right from the time we wake up in the morning till you go to bed. Everybody has a routine, and the routine is sometimes very flexible, very easy for certain people. For certain people, it's very hard. It's a struggle, and especially for parents and caregivers with special kids, we know our routine itself is uncertain. Because some of our kids, they don't sleep early, they have a very irregular sleep pattern. So everything, the whole day, if you take, then it becomes like a struggle only. So just to keep cool, as I told you earlier, we just keep our cool and just keep moving in. And I think the day just moves on.
Okay, Akka. As we all are aware that in June we celebrate Father's Day. So, how would you emphasize on the role of a father as a primary caregiver? How would you see from that aspect?
And yes, yeah. Usually, what happens? The moms are glorified.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not just as a special mom, I'm saying for any reason, anybody, any child you take, any school or things like that, the mom gets glorified for whatever they're doing. And I must actually admit the fathers are the cross bearers of the family, and they are the silent primary caregivers, if I should actually admit. And their role is as important as the mom's role in a child's life,
Mm-hmm.
whether special or not. Only that, and only thing is it's not identified, and we are not giving it so much of, the father's role is not given so much of importance. That's my personal opinion. And it's a father's support that keeps the mom and the family and the child as well, it keeps going and moving smoothly just because of the father. And as I told you earlier, that is not given so much of importance and doesn't come to the limelight as it is, as like the mother, I'm saying. The caring of the child isn't complete without the support or intervention of the dads. And dads may not be present the whole day with a child. You might always seeing a child being brought to school or going to the market or going to get something. In public, you see, it's always with the mother. That is because the dad is always engaged in the office or he's traveling and things like that. Okay, because their job is like that, because they're the breadwinner as well. But these dads are also supportive. In our kind of families, if you see, they are very supportive. They help the moms in the daily routine apart from their own jobs. And that makes a lot of difference, a huge difference in the kid's life as well. So
Okay.
fathers made that
Mhm.
important.
Okay. Okay.
The Father's Day is actually a proper thing to be, that is actually, it's not glorified like the Mother's Day.
Okay. Okay. I agree to some extent. Yes, you are.
You should.
Okay. So I also would like to know, like, what was your initial reaction after Pushkala's diagnosis, and how do you suggest parents to handle the diagnosis initially?
uh,
Suddenly out of a jolt when you realize, or when the doctor or the professional caregiver puts you into a position wherein they tell you the ultimate diagnosis. So how should they deal? How did you take it initially?
Actually, we also went through that initial shock. Then comes the disbelief. And then that's this big question in every special parent's mind. Why my child? Or why me? Those things have happened to us also. And we have been running from pillar to post, seeking a so-called cure as such, cure in inverted commas. But
Mhm.
eventually we realized that we needed to focus early on these interventional therapies, and we shouldn't be wasting much time, looking out for any sort of cure or something like that on the internet and things like that. And then we were actually fortunate. We got in touch with this parent support group called the Forum for Autism in Mumbai. And there we were guided by wonderful parents. And we are all friends till date, and they all become second family for us. And initial diagnosis for the other parents, you are asking, right? Um,
Mhm.
First thing is
How
to get,
do they go about with it?
yes, first thing is to get a,
Not be as positive as you are. So
mm,
initially, what do you suggest for them to take it as?
yes, first thing is to get a proper diagnosis. First is the proper diagnosis, because see, there is always doubt. Even with autism, there's a lot of tests happening these days as well. So what I'm saying is get a proper diagnosis. And then second thing, don't panic. See, that panic leads you nowhere. You won't know what to do next. So first thing is to get the proper diagnosis. Second thing is not to get scared about it. Don't panic. And autism isn't that bad, and get in touch with the parents group, support group. Then they can give you valuable info regarding therapy, training, schooling, whatever. And one more thing we'll have to get it in the mind is we have to relax as parents. Even after diagnosis, relax. It's not your fault. It's nor is it it's the child's fault. That we have to be very strong about. Only when that gets into your head, you can go about dealing it positively. And of course, it plays a lot of positive vibes on the child as well. So if we are not going to be positive, then the child is not going to be positive, because the child is fully dependent on your move, your next move. So that is very important.
So the first thing you emphasized on is being positive and
Yes.
radiating the same positivity to your child.
Yes. See, when we are positive, it radiates to the child. That is what I have learned.
Absolutely. Akka. So I'd like to ask you, like, what were some of the programs and supports that you had used to help her grow and develop?
Initially, we had used this ABA, that is Applied Behavior Analysis. And in due course, the updation was Verbal Behavior Analysis. It's called VBA. We have done both together. And we are still, and then we've been attending a lot of workshops conducted by the forum for the parents and professionals, and regarding the training, and we have trained her at home as well. And of course, because I told you, and from the beginning, I've been emphasizing on parent support. There are senior parents who can give us valuable tips and advice, which you will never read in a book, or you will not get when you search the net, or even a doctor may not be giving you that advice. So always look up to parents who can, who will not, let you down, and they will understand you, and you can actually trust them, and get a lot of tips from them. And of course, we have shared, a lot of parents have shared a lot of experiences with us, and that has helped us train her better.
Okay. So what you mean is that, in a nutshell, you should always look for realistic experiences from other parents. That is what helped you, other than the VBA and ABA thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, Akka. And some other programs which you would like to emphasize on, other than these two, what are the other programs that had helped your daughter, like, take up the growth and development normally?
For growth and development, see her motor skills and daily life skills. Those things we have approached occupational therapy, speech therapy, and a lot of exposure to society, taking her out, and mingle with children in the garden. When she was very little, we used to take her to the garden, and we used to make her walk on the grass. Simple exercises that we were taught by the occupational therapist. Those are the little programs that we have done. We have not done anything great.
Okay, so is being physically active very crucial during the days of initial days of growth and development?
Of course, it's not just in the initial days. It has to be a regular activity, so that they are the physical exercise keeps them active throughout the day, so that the sleep pattern is also regularized to a certain extent.
Okay, Akka. So also I'd like to ask you, like, what advice would you offer to parents whose kids have recently been diagnosed?
Recently been diagnosed, I told you that first thing, you have to properly get the diagnosis. Then that's what don't panic. It's not your fault, or it's not the child's fault as well. And take advice from parents, senior parents who have gone through all this. They will give you the correct sort of advice. It is better to get in touch with forums of parent support groups. They're the best people who can guide you. And these days, everything is all these therapies and schooling and training, and everything is under one roof. We had to run, like when my child was diagnosed, we had to run for speech therapy in one place, occupational therapy in the other, and speech. It's like it would be like from pillar to post. Some other places, everything was just one place. You get only one service offered. But these days, in one single school, everything is happening, and a lot of inclusion as well is happening in regular schools as well. So therapies are all under one roof these days. So it's better to get the guidance from the right sort of people, who I would always recommend to be as senior parents, who can share their experiences and give you all good support.
So what environment is conducive for the growth of a child with ASD, particularly on the domestic front? Like at home, what type of environment do you suggest a kid should have with ASD?
See, at home, we have parents grandparents, siblings, and they all play a significant role if you see when it comes to the home environment as such. When we talk, therapy is not only done in a center. It starts at home where we can actually apply things. See, understanding and kind behavior from the people at home, it helps the mental well-being of the child. And the confidence, is built in the mind only from people at home. Only people at home can understand, help, love, and give them that, confidence to work. And day-to-day activities, all these day-to-day activities like brushing, grooming oneself, eating, wearing clothes, these things and all, it's a natural thing that can happen at home if people at home like grandparents or siblings, so they don't have the time limit. You can just say, okay, wear your clothes. You can teach them to wear clothes, and all this happens very naturally without being said, sit down, stand up, and do this, do that. There's nothing like that. It's an everyday routine. So it actually naturally happens without a teacher. Who can teach the child? The parents, the grandparents, the siblings, whoever is near the child at home. And but the only point is they have to give them kind attention and love, not ignoring them in any kind of activity. If there is an activity in the house, like all of them are talking together, playing a game together, involve this child as well. You should not ignore and say this child is not going to understand anything, so we're not going to take the special child. Nothing like that. Take them
There
in.
comes in the concept of inclusivity.
Yes, it happens at home.
All are trying to incorporate in the society.
Yes. And people at home should avoid that negative talk, about the child, that, and not highlighting what the child is not able to do or something like that, or the child is slow, not pinpointing those things. It's better, people at home celebrate what the child is able to do. Even small victories that child is able to do, we are all celebrating it. So when we celebrate it, the morale of the child gets boosted, and the child gets more, he or she gets more confidence to move further. So the whole thing starts at home.
Totally agree. Yes. And Avka, when you said about the inclusive factor, so what did you as a mother take to initiate the inclusive thing during the initial days?
During the initial days, see, what happened was we only knew the definition. Autism means they're not able to communicate, or there is less communication, there is no speech. Things, all these points are given, that anybody can read on the net. So inclusion as such, what happens is when, as I told you earlier, I used to take her out everywhere. We were not bothered about her diagnosis or the name autism. We just took her everywhere, and we made her play with children. We actually made her play with children in the park. And then whenever there is a celebration, we had kids coming home and play with her. And of course, kids are not bothered about whether your child is being labeled with some disability or whatever. No, they only know she's a child, and they want to play with her. Even if she's not going to respond, they will respond. They take her in their activity, play with her, take her around. So we have never missed any birthday party. We have never missed any wedding. Just like that, we just take her. We go to the temple, we go to the market, we go to the post office, we go to the mall. Everywhere we have taken our child. So initial days till now, we are doing that. So that is one way we have included her in society. We are doing our best to include her.
Okay. And how do you think that the extracurricular activities, like you are a singer yourself, so how do you think like the extracurricular activities like singing, dancing influence these children for their further development?
I feel, that gives a moral boost, as I told you earlier, that mentally they become very happy. See, when it is the same with us as well. When you start singing, when you listen to a song, if we are not singing, we're going to listen, right? Everybody is not a good singer. So we feel like listening. So we listen to when you're in some, when you're very low sometime, you feel like listening to a nice bhajan or something like that, then you feel nice. Or when you sing a song, you're very nice. You feel the feel itself. When we feel like the same way, they also feel, when we feel that way, we feel very happy. or a little more extra boost. We get a booster dose when you have a cup of coffee, right? To say in simple words. Same way, a dancing to the tune of a dance, of some, a nice foot tapping song on the TV or a video, practicing some exercise that is done on the TV. They also might like it. They might do it wrong, but the feel is the same, right? Even if they don't express, you can see it on their faces, the smile, or the jumping or things like that. We know what they enjoy, what they will not enjoy. They give us that cue very easily, and they're very firm about it. So all these extracurricular activities like music, dance, sports activities, playing the keyboard, playing an instrument also gives so much joy. Many of our kids, I have seen them playing the keyboard and guitar, drums. That is one way of expression, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Akka. And since you are a singer yourself, before I ask another question, why don't you hum few lines from any of your favorite songs?
Oh my God. Any of my favorite songs. Yeah, I can. I want to say what song actually. Tamil song is okay for you?
Any song you are comfortable with.
What song should I sing? I will sing this. Only this is coming in my mind about disability only. Actually, I don't have the words, but I can still hum something for you. Okay.
Whatever, yeah.
காற்றின் மொழி ஒலியா இசையா பூவின் மொழி நிறமா மணமா கடலின் ஒலி அலையா நுரையா காதல் மொழி இதழா மனமா இயற்கையின் மொழிகள் புரிந்துவிடில் மனிதருக்கு மொழியே தேவையில்லை. இயற்கையின் மொழிகள் புரிந்துவிடில் மனிதருக்கு மொழியே தேவையில்லை. காற்றின் மொழி ஒலியா இசையா பூவின் மொழி நிறமா மணமா. Only this much I remember.
Very nice, Akka. Very nice. It was so mellifluous listening to you. Very nice. We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And also, I'd like to ask you, since you are a treasure house of information and so much experiences you have to share, so I'm sure that you would love to help other parents. So, where can the other parents reach out to you?
They can take my WhatsApp number, which we can put it in our autism spectrum group.
Okay.
And of course, anytime, any sort of help. I'm just a mom. I'm not any doctor or any therapist, but I'm just a mom. But definitely, I can definitely support people in any way I can. In any way I can. Definitely.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for such an enriching and informative session. I'm sure that people who thoroughly benefited from this. So, there are times wherein every parent seeks help. And you have wonderfully articulated your unique experiences today, helping so many parents. So, from the entire team of Spectrum Autism, I'd like to extend heartfelt gratitude to you for sharing your valuable insights, thereby aiding in creating awareness. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you, Debashree. And I wanted to say one more thing. What we have to do, what we don't have to do. I just wanted to tell parents, that's my general view. Can I share that
Sure,
as
go
well?
ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to say that early intervention therapy, training, or schooling, therapy, whatever, use all of it, but mainly focus on giving love, kindness, and support to your child, and boost his or her self-esteem, and celebrate each little step that the child takes ahead. That is one thing I wanted to tell them. And then do your role as a parent, spread the awareness about the condition in any little way we can. And then we need a society that is more supportive and inclusive for our kids, even when we are no more. So we need to always, spread the awareness as much as we can, so that the next generation will get more of it. And then third thing is, please parents, take care of yourselves. Don't neglect your health. Having a differently abled or a divinely abled, as I call them, I know, have a child doesn't mean that you have to be isolated from others. Spend time with friends and then enjoy life with your child. And we have the right to do it. It's not wrong. And one more thing, I can still say for 30 seconds. Can you give me some
Oh,
time?
go ahead.
Parents, please don't feel embarrassed to take your child outside and to public places. And we might have different types of people, in the surrounding, in the society. But our child is not in any way less. Our child is only different. Have that in the mind. We are not less. The child is not less. We are also not less. And for they might communicate differently, which is not which others might not understand in the right way. So we have to get them into public, and I think we should give that education and knowledge to society about disability, so that people become more friendlier to our kids, and world becomes a better place for the society and our kids. So that it's a two-way thing. It's not like saying that people don't understand us and we get isolated. It's like all of us in the same world, we have to move on. So it is also a part of our duty to give or spread awareness about disability, divinely abled kids, as I call them. Again, I like to say that word. And I think that is more important, that we do our share to spread the awareness, so that the society also is not behaving wrong to our kids. And autism is neither your fault or the child's fault. Again, I want to stress on that. And don't feel guilty about it. Live life, make it better for yourself and for the child. Okay. And and one more very final point is, don't take insult or rebuke, because regarding the condition of the child, I'm saying, don't take insult, don't take rebuke. And I'm not asking you to go and fight for it. Be firm, speak up for your child. Don't let him or her down. That is very, very important. Thank you. Thank you for letting me say that, right?
That's a very valuable tip shared, Akka. Thank you so much for radiating so much optimism and certitude in our show. And we are truly, truly grateful to you for such valuable insights. Thank you so much.
Same with me as well. Thank you so much. And one small request to society, whoever is watching, please spread this word. Whenever you meet an individual with autism or any disability for that matter, please don't ignore them. Give them a kind smile, give them a handshake. It makes a lot of difference. For us, it's just a little 1 minute work, but for them, it makes a lot of difference in their world. I'm telling you out of my experience. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.